Have you ever felt like the world is losing a bit of its sparkle? Maybe colors aren't as vibrant as they used to be, or driving at night has become a battle against glare. You might think it's just age, but what if your eyes were sending you signals about something that started developing years ago? Today, we're going to investigate the 5 early signs of cataracts, the ones that appear long before a diagnosis. We'll also reveal the one symptom almost nobody connects to this condition and the mistake most people make that dramatically speeds up its onset. But before we dive into the signs, we need to understand what exactly is this veil that threatens to cloud our vision. Cataracts are the progressive clouding of a small but powerful lens we all have inside our eyes. The crystalline lens. Think of it as the focusing lens of a high-precision camera. When it's healthy, it's perfectly transparent. But over time, it's as if that lens starts to fog up, becoming cloudy. At first, it's almost unnoticeable, but gradually, seeing through it becomes more and more difficult. And here's a surprising fact: this isn't a rare disease. Experts like Dr. Laura Rogers, a renowned ophthalmologist, point out that it's an almost inevitable part of aging. By age 65, nearly half of all people have some degree of cataracts, even if many don't suspect it. And by age 80, that number jumps to almost 90%. The real question isn't if they will appear, but when and how fast. Because although the passage of time is the main factor, there are others we can control to slow them down. And the best news is that, unlike other eye diseases, cataracts have an incredibly effective solution. But to get to that solution, we first need to learn how to listen to our eyes. So let's uncover the signs that many people ignore for years. The first sign is perhaps the most poetic and subtle. The world begins to look like a vintage photograph. Colors lose their intensity, becoming dull or yellowish. The blue of the sky seems less vibrant. The white of a page looks more cream-colored. This change is so gradual that the brain adapts, and most people don't realize it until one day, after surgery, they rediscover a world full of color they had forgotten. It happens because the lens, as it becomes cloudy, starts to yellow and acts like a filter, blocking blue and violet tones. The second sign is a classic, but it's often underestimated: excessive glare, especially at night. If the headlights of oncoming cars turn into blinding stars, or if streetlights create annoying halos around them, pay attention. This isn't just an inconvenience, it's a real risk to your safety. Many people stop driving at night without knowing why. They just feel it's no longer safe. What's happening, as specialists like Dr. Rogers explain, is that the cloudy lens scatters light in all directions instead of focusing it cleanly, creating these dangerous visual effects. Now, the third sign, one that very few people know and is very telling: you need to change your glasses prescription frequently. If every year or even every few months you feel your prescription has changed, you might think your nearsightedness or farsightedness is getting worse. However, it could be a sign that the cataract is altering the way your lens focuses light. Sometimes it even causes a false improvement in near vision, a phenomenon ophthalmologists call myopic shift. People who have needed reading glasses for years suddenly find they can read without them. Ironically, what seems like good news is actually a warning sign. The fourth sign is less common but very specific: double vision in one eye. If you cover one eye and with the other see a main image and a slightly overlapping ghost image, you might be experiencing what's known as monocular diplopia. This occurs because irregularities in the developing lens split the light into two beams, creating that duplicate image. It's important not to confuse this with double vision that only appears with both eyes open, as that could indicate a neurological problem requiring immediate medical attention. And finally, the fifth sign, the one that seems most obvious, yet is so slow that it hides in plain sight: progressive blurry vision. It's not a sudden blur, but a fine mist that slowly settles over your distance vision. Traffic signs, storefronts, faces in the distance, everything loses definition so gradually that your brain normalizes it. Many people simply assume this is what getting older is like, without realizing they are losing a clarity they could regain. If you recognize any of these signs, it's not a reason to be alarmed, but to be informed and take action. Because now comes the most important part. What speeds up this process, and what can we do to slow it down? While we can't change our age or genetics, there are risk factors that are in our hands. The most significant, according to all scientific evidence, is exposure to the sun's ultraviolet radiation without protection. Every time you go outdoors without proper sunglasses, the damage accumulates in the proteins of your lens. It's like leaving a clear piece of plastic outside. Over the years, it turns cloudy and yellow. That's why it's crucial to wear sunglasses with UV 400 certification, which blocks 100% of UV rays. Be careful. Dark glasses without this filter can be worse, as they dilate your pupils and let in even more harmful radiation. The second major accelerator is tobacco. Smoking doubles the risk of developing cataracts. The smoke carries toxins and free radicals through the bloodstream to the eye, where they cause massive oxidative damage to the lens. The good news is that when you quit smoking, this risk begins to decrease. Third, poorly controlled diabetes. High blood sugar levels alter the chemistry of the lens, speeding up its clouding. Keeping glucose under control is one of the best defenses for those living with this condition. Other factors include the long-term use of corticosteroids, blows or trauma to the eye, and excessive alcohol consumption. But can we protect our eyes from our plate? Science says yes. There are no miracle foods that cure cataracts, but there are nutrients that act as a defense team. Antioxidants like vitamin C, found in citrus fruits and peppers, and vitamin E in nuts and olive oil are fundamental. However, two heroes stand out above the rest: lutein and zeaxanthin. They are pigments that naturally concentrate in the eye and act as an internal sunscreen, protecting the lens from harmful light. We find them in abundance in dark green leafy vegetables like spinach and kale, and interestingly in egg yolks, which offer a version our body absorbs very easily. More than any single nutrient, studies point to a dietary pattern like the Mediterranean diet, rich in vegetables, fish, and healthy fats, as the best protective shield. Now, it's time to debunk the myths surrounding cataracts, because misinformation can be dangerous. Myth number 1, cataracts can be cured with eye drops. This is categorically false. The reality, as confirmed by all ophthalmologists, is that there is no eye drop or treatment that can dissolve a cataract. It's a structural change, and the only effective solution when vision is compromised is surgery. Myth number 2, reading a lot or using screens causes cataracts. False. Intensive screen use can cause eye strain or dry eyes, but it has no connection to the clouding of the lens. Myth number 3, you have to wait for the cataract to be ripe to operate. This is an outdated idea from when surgical techniques were much more rudimentary. Today, the criteria have completely changed. Surgery is simpler and safer when the cataract is not as advanced. Myth number 4, cataract surgery is dangerous. The reality is that it is one of the safest and most successful surgeries in all of medicine, with a success rate of over 95%. It's a quick procedure, about 15 to 20 minutes, performed with local anesthesia. And myth number 5, cataracts can grow back. Impossible. During surgery, the cloudy lens is removed and replaced with an artificial lens that cannot become cloudy. What sometimes happens is that the capsule that held the lens becomes cloudy over time, a problem that is permanently solved with a simple and quick laser procedure in the office. So, with all this in mind, when is the ideal time to have surgery? The answer is surprisingly personal. It's not about a number on a vision test. The time comes when cataracts begin to affect your quality of life. If you've stopped driving at night due to insecurity, if reading has become a frustrating task, if your hobbies like sewing or woodworking are no longer possible, or if the fear of tripping and falling limits you, it's time to consider surgery. It's about regaining your independence, your safety, and the pleasure of seeing the world clearly. Moreover, modern surgery offers a unique opportunity. It not only removes the cataract, but can also correct vision problems you've had your whole life, like nearsightedness, farsightedness, or astigmatism, thanks to advanced intraocular lenses. In summary, let's remember 3 key ideas. First, cataracts are a part of aging, but you can slow their progression by protecting yourself from the sun, not smoking, and eating a diet rich in antioxidants. Second, learn to recognize the early signs like faded colors or night glare and consult a professional. And third, don't believe in myths. Surgery is safe, and the right time is when you decide you want to reclaim your quality of life. Seeing well is not a luxury. It's your right to continue fully enjoying the world. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and share it with someone it might help. And if you spend many hours in front of a screen and your eyes feel tired, it's probably not cataracts, but eye strain. I'll leave a link here to a video where we investigate that topic thoroughly. Thank you for joining us. Take care of your vision, and we'll see you in the next investigation.